What is a modified endowment contract? And is that something that I should be worried about? When does it take effect, or how is it triggered? And does it even matter? On this video, I'm going to explain exactly what a modified endowment contract is. We're going to get into the history of the modified endowment contract, how it can affect your insurance contract. Without further ado, let's get right to it. So simply put, a modified endowment contract is when your life insurance policy, and this would be a permanent life insurance policy that's building cash value, specifically as it pertains to the WRA, your wealth reserve account. This would be your whole life insurance contract with a dividend paying mutual company. And basically, there's two sides to the contract. There's your premium that pays for the death benefit and for the contract itself. So that's the base premium. And then there's premium that goes towards cash value and paid up additions. The paid up additions and cash value in this contract has limitations that the government sets in place. And this is called the MEC rule, or the modified endowment contract. And to simply put it, there is a ratio between how much death benefit and how much cash value you can put into any particular contract. The government regulates it, and the life insurance companies enforce it. So when you're designing a life insurance policy for a client, you have to make sure that that design is not a MEC, and you also have to make sure that not only is it not going to MEC immediately, but there's not going to be a MEC incident in the future. Part of that also includes staying in touch with your client to make sure that they're appropriately funding their policy, they're appropriately paying back policy loans, because even if everything is set up properly, if the policy is abused and there are policy loans taken out and there's never any repayment on policy loans and interest accrues and there's no payment on interest, that in due time could also cause a policy to go into a MEC, even though originally it was designed not to MEC. So managing your policy in the long run is important to make sure it doesn't MEC. But most important is the very beginning on how the policy is designed. So why does it even matter? Why do we care about whether or not it MECs? For that, let's dive into the slide. A MEC is a life insurance policy that has been funded too heavily, too quickly, and as a result loses some of its valuable tax advantages. It does not affect the death benefit, but it changes how the cash value grows and how withdrawals and loans are taxed. Some of the key points to keep in mind are: the death benefit does remain. The guarantee to your beneficiaries are never affected. Where it is affected is in the tax advantages. They are limited. Cash value growth is still tax deferred, but less favorable when accessed. There's the last in, first out, LIFO rule. Loans and withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income to the extent of gains. And so that's where it really makes the difference. If the policy is set up properly and it is a non MEC, then the last in, first out rule does not apply. You will not be taxed on policy loans. If it does become a MEC, once it MECs, that's it. You can't go back. It becomes a MEC and it can never go back. So why did this even come into play? Why is there a MEC? So what happened is in 1984, life insurance was often being used as a tax shelter for high income earners. So in 1984, the Reform Act of 1984 introduced the MEC rules, which is IRS Code Section 7702A, which limits the abuse. In 1997, the Balanced Budget Act 1997 tightened the rules further to close additional loopholes. And today, the MEC rules remain in place to preserve the integrity of life insurance and its tax benefits. The goal is to keep life insurance as a protection first product and savings tool, not as a tax free investment vehicle. That's why we never promote, sell, or refer to life insurance as an alternate investment. It's an alternative savings vehicle with protection first. So the law, again, the governing code is IRS Code 7702A. applies to policy issued after June 20th, 1988, and it tests whether the policy is overfunded based on premiums paid versus a 7-pay test or guideline premium test. If premiums paid exceed the limits, the policy becomes a MEC. Why the government instituted the MEC rule? To prevent tax abuse, to protect the tax system, to maintain fairness, and to preserve the industry. And again, the policy becomes a MEC if it doesn't pass the 7-pay test or the guideline premium test. That's when it becomes classified as a MEC by the insurance company, and then the insurance company has to report it to the government. And again, it is a permanent status once it becomes a MEC. The fact is, most properly designed whole life policies with a dividend paying mutual company will not become a MEC when funded within limits. The potential consequences of a MEC is that loans and withdrawals are taxed. There could be an additional 10% tax if you're under the age of 59 and a half. The taxable portion of withdrawals may be subject to a 10% penalty. You lose the favorable tax treatment, and it's irreversible. And again, to avoid the MEC, you just want to make sure you're working with a knowledgeable professional who understands MEC rules, designs the policy with appropriate premium levels, follows tested funding strategies, and how the base versus the PUA is structured. And then you want to review your policy with your agent annually. And when in doubt, you just ask. You want to ask your agent or your professional before funding or taking policy loans. The bottom line is a modified endowment contract does not ruin your policy, but it does limit how your money grows and how you can access it. If you design it right and fund it wisely, you protect your advantages and you don't have to worry about a MEC. And this is why working with an expert and someone who really understands how to design and set up these policies is so important. And so, if you are someone that wants to look at a design or an illustration of a whole life insurance policy with a dividend paying mutual company, your wealth reserve account, your WRA, please go ahead and schedule a free call so that we can spend some time together reviewing your numbers and designing policy illustrations that will be a good fit for you. You can use the link in the description below or just go to www.wealthreserveaccount.com. With that said, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope it was of value. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let someone know who will let someone know about the Wealth Reserve account and the information that we're teaching here. And I look forward to speaking to you and seeing you on the next video.